Alan's first to come. All right. Good morning, everybody. Today is Daf Samach Daled, and we got to the Mishnah at the bottom. So the Mishnah says, "Haisha Shamra Hiskaba Ligiti," a woman that says, "Hey, can you be?" How we just started it, Randy. So a woman says, "Be." We just started. A woman says, "Receive this get for me." And so, but there's no proof. The guy doesn't have it in his hand. He says he got it, but we don't know. Even though he says he got it, we have to explain the Gemara. So we need two different sets of Eidim. Why? Two of them that says yes, he was appointed to be the Shliach Kabbalah. And two that say yes, he did receive it, but the reason why we don't have it is because she tore it up. We'll explain why it was torn up in the Gemara. It can even be the same set. The first two and the second two. That also works. Or the two sets can be combined of one person for the first group, one for the second group, and a one person who combined with both the first and second groups to say that A, she appointed him as a shliach, and B, the shliach received the get, and then he tore it up. So Zak the Gemara, Itamar. So two lines at the top. Baal omer lepikadoi. So a husband says, yeah, the reason why he's holding the get is because I gave it to him to hold on to it for me. I didn't, right? The shlish omer legerush. And the third person says, no, that the wife appointed him as the shliach Kabbalah, and that's why he's holding it. So she's divorced. And the husband's saying she's not divorced. I just told to hold on to it. So who's believed? So Ravuna says the husbands believe that they're not divorced. No, the third parties believe. What are the reasons? Right? Because if he wanted to go ahead and divorce her, he would have just given it to her. So why did he give it to him? He's saying, I gave it to him to hold on to it right now. Because if I wanted to divorce her, I would have given it to her. Third parties believe. Why? Because as we see, a third party, a person is really not involved, is believed. So therefore, a third person he's not the divorcee, he's not the divorcer. So he's believed to say that he affected the divorce. So Mesa Rabbi Abba, that the admission of a litigant who's involved in a case, right? In other words, somebody who's just chayte. So if he admits something, right, he knows better than others, and therefore he's believed even next to, he's considered like a group of witnesses even against 100. However, but a third party, a shlish, right, is believed over two of them. What do you mean shlish is believed over one of them? Someone says this happened, that one says this happened. The shlish neman. Then the third party, two people they're arguing, and then the third person, if he has the item right with him, something that was given to him, who gave it to him? One person says he gave it to him, the other person says he gave it to him. He has to give it back to me. So we believe the third person. So why don't you believe the third person in this case when he says I received the get and affected the divorce? So Shani Mama when he gave money, so why is the guy giving the other guy money? Obviously, he trusts him, right? So since he trusts him, even if he has to, he could just be meichel the money. It says, okay, you don't have to give the money back to me. You can give it to the third party. By giving him the money, he's basically entrusting him with the money. But when it comes to divorce, that doesn't work when it comes to ishus, right? You can't just say, oh, she's not my wife anymore. I was said something and it was also applies by gittin. So your answer is no. What does it mean v'chein legittin? Not in terms of divorce, if we leave it for third party. Rather, gittin mamon. Rather, it has to do with documents of money. I know it's not the normal to say gittin when it comes to money, but it means documents of money. This is also shtaros. So the Bryce says, the case of mamon v'chein shtaros. So and gittin, right? So I gittin and shtaros. So I is referring to money and also divorce. So our answer is no. You get the gabi adadi time. It's the same brisa. It was two different brisas. One brisa said v'chein l'git referring to gitei mammon, and the other brisa says it was money. V'chein l'shtaros referring to also shtaros of mammon, but neither of them necessarily we're talking about gittin that the third parties believe. So Tanan, let's look at our Mishnah. A woman says, "Be makabel my get for me." Need two sets of witnesses. Two of them that said that yes, she told him to be makabel the get on her behalf. And two people that say, yes, she did. He did receive it on her behalf, and then he tore it up, and that's the reason why you don't see the get in front of you as proof. So let's just believe the third party, right? You're talking about believing the third party. Let's believe the third party here. So Gemara says, he's not holding it. The reason why the third party is believed because he has in his hand. But over here, the third party is not holding the get because we said, like we saw in the mission, that it was received and it was torn up. So Tina Chamra Kibel Lamli. I understand. So I understand why you need witnesses to say that he was appointed in the Shaliach to go ahead and be Makabel the get. But why do we need witnesses that says that she received it? Samarav. So Hamani, who's opinion this is Rabbi Yossi. Damar Eidim Masira Karti says Eidim Masira Karti. Therefore, we have to make sure that indeed it was delivered because that was the most important part. And Kara Lamali. So why do they have to go ahead and tear it up? So Rav Yamarav the Shas Hagzera Shavit during the Shas Hagzera. Right, the Jews were being persecuted, and therefore she had to receive the get, but tear it up so people would not get in trouble that they were doing Jewish marriages and divorces. And Amar Rabba Umayda Rav Huna, the Amra Ihi Ledidi, Amar Li Shlish Tegerishin, Yavin Nilei Mehemna. So says Rabba that Rav Huna will admit, right, that she said, right, that the third party, the shlish, right, that she says that the shlish told her that he received the get, and and basically on her behalf, and therefore she's divorced. That she is believed to say that. So she's believed to say that the third party told her that he received the get. She's divorced. So I understand. I understand. The third party is not believed to say, "Hey, I received the get, she's now divorced." So why are you saying that a woman is believed, right, to say that the third party told me that he received it and I'm divorced, right? You need witnesses, like we saw in the mission. You need witnesses that said that they received it, and therefore, and the reason why we don't have it in front of us is because it was torn up. Eli Amra rather means like this. No, rather what you're saying that the husband can say, right, that he said it, that it was he gave it to her in front of her, right? He received it, right? The shlish received it in front of her. Why? Miga di boy amra lidida yavinile bal, right? So in other words, because in this case that she would be believed to say, hey, if a woman is believed to say yes, that he gave it gave it to me. So since she would be believed to say he gave it to me, but she didn't, right? So over here, we'll say that she should believe that she says she gave it to him in front of me, because if she wanted to claim he gave it to me, and therefore, and she would be Neman in such a case. And Baal Omar Legerushin. Let's say the husband says, I gave it to this guy to go ahead and deliver her the get to the Shlish. The Shlish Omar Legerushin, he says, gave it to me and gave it to her, and she's divorced. And he says, right, he says, right, they got it.
He said, she said.
No, the other case. The Shlish said that yes, I went ahead and I received it and I gave it to her. And she says, Nasan li v'yava, right? I had it, but I lost it. So Amar Rabbi Yechanan says Rabbi Yechanan's case, Havi davar sheva erva, right? This is a matter of erva. Now over here, remember, we don't have the document. All we know is that he gave it to the third party to deliver the get. The husband is never claiming, I gave her the get, right? The third party is saying, yeah, I got it, I gave her the get. And she says, I lost it, I don't have any proof.
But everybody admits that everybody's sticking to the same story. There's no change in the story. Reuben says he gave it to Shimon. Shimon says he gave it to Leah. Leah says I got it, but I lost it. So there's no conflict.
Right, but there is.
Anything to get, but everybody's agreeing on what happened.
Well, the husband is never saying I gave her the get.
He gave it, but he's saying I divorced her.
No, he's saying I gave it to the shliach to divorce her.
To divorce.
So let's see. So the Gemara says this is davar she'er ve'ein davar she'er pachon l'shaim. We don't believe less that we don't have testimony here. So the Gemara says, I understand. V'mai lamdei right l'shlish. So why don't we go ahead and believe the third party? The third party said he got it and delivered it. Right? Well, he doesn't have it. The reason why we believe one person is because of one person had in his hand and says, yeah, let's see, I was makabel to get for it, and here it is, right? It's whole. But we don't have this case. So it's really, you need Eidos. And he can't testify that I go ahead and did something. You need two people to testify that he did something. So let's go ahead and believe the husband. Damar.
Three should have had a couple of babies.
He didn't have it, right? That's why we said. That's why it's not believed. So why don't we go believe the husband? So because the husband's didn't say I divorced my wife. So once again, the Gemara says, he didn't say I divorced her. He just said I gave it to the shliach to go ahead and deliver. So let's say it's a chazaka person. The shliach does his shlichus. Someone does his witness, his messenger. Say v'kadosh the isha stam. Go ahead and get me be mekadesh woman on my behalf, and then go ahead and marry her up in 6 months. And then the guy leaves, and all of a sudden he dies. There's a chazaka, right? He's now every woman in the world might be the relative of his wife that he's mekadeshes with. So now he can't marry any woman because she might be the daughter of the woman who the shliach got engaged for him, right? Why? Because chazaka shliach does a shlichusa. We have a chazaka the shliach does a shlichus. But that's not a chazaka, right? It's chazaka. We know he did it. We didn't know there's a rov and there's a miyut, right? But so the Gemara says no. Hani l'chumra. Yes, l'chumra. We said l'shichusa. So maybe he did it. So they were about l'kula, but over here to say that she's not an eshesish. Lo, I l'hamnei dida. But why would we go ahead and believe her? She says she got it. She lost it. Rav Huna, Damar Rav Huna. Now isha shamar lebala gerashtani. A woman who said that, I was divorced. Namenas. Because a woman wouldn't go ahead and basically lie. Her husband says, I never divorced you. She said, I divorced you. So we believe the woman because a woman wouldn't be so brazen in front of her husband. However, that's over here when he's not agreeing with her. But over here, but he's saying, yeah, I gave it to the guy to divorce her, right? Then the Messiah, maybe she would lie to say she got it. Perhaps they're just trying to, save money on the cipher or something like that, right? That's why she don't have it. So we don't have witnesses that, that she received the get, and therefore, in this case, it's that they would have to go ahead and give another get. Fine.
He could claim you already admitted you got it.
What was that?
When you got to pay the two again, you could say, well, you already got it, so you're done. She already admitted she got it.
Right. Well, then she would have to produce, or he would that she was paid. Yeah. Or right. Or that she wasn't. Or yeah. But if it's in his hand, then he's the muksa. So Zak the Mishnah, Nara Marasa. So you have a girl who is her father betrothed her off to somebody. So she's still Nara Marasa. So she's only engaged, not fully married. So she's still quasi in the rishus of her father. So Avia, Avia Mekabel as Gita. Both her and her father can go ahead and be Mekabel the get on her behalf. And Amar Yehuda. So now it's either her. The husband wants to, who betrothed her, who's Mekadesh, wants to divorce her. So you either get to their father or to her. However, now we can't have too many cooks in the kitchen. It can't be both people on behalf of her. Ella Avia Mekabel as Gita. Rather, only the father's Mekabel Gita. Bilbad, only him. And any woman that doesn't have the capability to go ahead and watch her get, cannot go ahead and get divorced because she can't be she can't be shomeres it, right? She can't guard it. What's the machlokes over here? Whether it's the father and the namrasser or just the father? So Rabbanan Savi Yada Yisirasa Zakli Rachman, the Torah actually gave an extra yad, and she also has a yad in addition to the father. Rabbi Yehuda said, Rabbi Yehuda says no, she's still under the father, his auspices, and therefore only his yad matters and not hers. And then we say, if she can't go ahead and guard her get, she can't receive it. So Rabbanan Katana Haidas Lishmas Gita. a katana who knows how to go, has the capability to go ahead and be shomeres gita, then miskareshes, then she can be divorced. She'ena does lishmas gita, but she's too young to be shomeres gita. Then she cannot be divorced. She has to wait till she gets older and has the capacity to go ahead and be shomeres her get. Basic katana yades lishmas gita. What level is that? Be able to safeguard it, to prove that she's a divorced woman. Be able to go ahead and put it away and not, have it lost or destroyed or thrown away. So, Kol Shemishmeres Gita v'Davar. She has the capability to go ahead and guard her get so it doesn't get destroyed, and also something else. So my kamar, what are you talking about? So Hafi kamar. In other words, let's say she loses her get, so she watches something else, right? Her book, like she's watching a get. Or says, I understand such a person who can't differentiate, right, such a young age between the importance of a get versus a fairy tale book, right, or a toy, right? Obviously, she doesn't. She's like a shaita. She doesn't have the capability to be shomeres. What are you talking about? Ella, she's able to distinguish the difference between the importance of her get and the importance of, let's say, anything else, a toy, a book, or whatever it is. Then that woman has the capability to be makabel her own get because she understands. That girl. So I'm Rav Yehuda, Rav Asi, Saror Zarko Egos V'Naitlo. If someone has the capability to know that a rock, okay, you throw it away, but food or nut, you keep it. She has the capability to go ahead and receive something on her behalf, but she can't go ahead and be zeichel things for others. A person, if a minor borrows something and has when they ask for has the capability to go ahead and return it. Then such a person, such a minor, can be zeicha an item on behalf of themselves or even for others. So can we say, the Shmuel, when this says for the Shmuel, Amar Li, tell me, David Achasi. It's the same thing. So my David Achasi, what does it mean? It was the same thing. So Rav Chizda, Echad Zev, Yechad Zev. Both these cases, being able to differentiate between a rock and a nut, or being able to borrow something and return it, zeicha liatzma vein zeicha leacher. Can acquire something for themselves, but cannot acquire something on behalf of somebody else. So Meisi Rav Chidin of Arden, so how do you go ahead and do a sheet of mavoyos? You want to go ahead and then connect chatzeros into a mavi, you'd be able to carry from the chatzer into the mavoy, or from chatzer to chatzer. So maybe manei chazer chavis. So you go ahead, you bring a barrel, and this barrel is for everybody. I mean, mazaket to the entire, all the people that share this this mavui, this alleyway. Umezakelem ayidei bito, or excuse me, ayidei beno ubito hagdailim, and go ahead and mizak it over to his children who are gedolim, because they're around. It's already bar mitzvah, bar bas mitzvah, ayidei avda v'shivchasa avrim, or he's mizaket. They do a kinyan, his Jewish maidservant or Jewish slave. So Gemara says, "Hi shivcha heichidami." So what is a shivcha ivriya, right? How do you have that? If she's already brought 2 hairs, no, she's a gedayla. My boy Gabi, she goes free with shnei saros, right? She goes free then. She's not a slave then. So how does he have a slave, ivriya? It must be elav belois shnei saros, right? Rather, she's a minor. She has not brought 2 hairs yet. And she can be zeicha, right? The shita mavia on behalf of all the others. So you see over here that even a katana can go ahead and be mezaka l'achir. More answers. Shani should be mavoyos derabanan. No, that's only derabanan. Since that's halacha derabanan, the shita of mavui. So therefore, we say that we allow her to go ahead and be mezaka l'achir. So I'm Rav Chizda. Each thing bargain. So Avraham was quiet. He had no reply to that. So Gemara says, "My havilei l'meimer." What could he have said? Called the tikkun rabbanan came the raisa tikkun, right? Anything that was masakin that is something should work like the raisa. So therefore, if a minor can't be masakin l'acherim, so even in the case of the rabbanan shittiv mavio, she shouldn't be. One should not be able to do it. Why are you more lenient there? So idach. So why was he silent? Kiyamrin called the tikkun rabbanan came the raisa. That which we say called the tikkun rabbanan came the raisa. Tikkun b'milsa the isa ikam in the Torah. That's only something that is sourced in the Torah. But milsted the less ikam in the Torah was something like shittim mavi. right? In other words, it has no place in Torah. In other words, there's no, remez or whatever it is for Erev in such a case. So therefore, in such a case, in such a case, then we do not say that called the Tikkun Rabbanan Ke'ein D'Oraisa. And therefore, we can even have leniencies that are Rabbanans, such as being a Tana, being Mizaka, Liacher. All right, we'll stop here. Everybody have a wonderful day and a good Chodesh and